What I like about this is you can like grab one of these adventures and run that for your group because there are various levels, but also like I like the idea of just like a heist campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. So the book's adventures can be run as standalones, and you don't need to use the Golden Vault. You can just have the quest giver, the person on the ground who needs the help, they can just be the ones who approach the characters, and you never have to involve the Golden Vault. But the Golden Vault actually exists to allow it to be easier to play all of the adventures as a linked campaign, so that you have one handler who's constantly giving you messages and giving you your mission briefing before you go and you do the thing, and the Golden Vault is then rewarding you at the end of every successful mission, giving you an item or some other thing that is of use to the group. I mean, I'm really excited for folks to play this as a campaign, and all of the adventures in the front matter of the book gives instructions about how to link these adventures together, and essentially, it goes from level 1 to 11. There's a couple of duplicate level adventures, but you're leveling up at the end of every mission, with the exception of 2.
I've run Heist before, and it's even with a group like I've been playing with for 3 years, and every time I set up a Heist, they don't want to tell me what they're planning. They will spend hours outside the game, and this is what I like about the Heist genre for D&D is, yeah, you have your play session where you're all together, but there's another game that's happening.
That's super fun. I think, well, there are kind of like 2 types of groups, right? There's the ones who don't trust their DM not to make their life complicated by adding, so they do sort of secretly conspire. And then there are ones who are just sort of open at the table, kind of trying to figure out their plans. And they like to have the DM there because the DM might actually steer them toward a more successful option. So you've sort of got these 2 different play styles, and I like that they both exist. My players are the latter kind. They're the kind who want to plan in front of me,
right,
because they have no confidence in their own planning ability, and they're hoping that I might, maybe through an NPC intermediary or just through, help steer them a little bit towards success before they have to actually execute.
I think a lot of that planning, from my experience in running several of these adventures, that planning becomes part of the gameplay at the table. And the parties that I've run through these adventures, they have all been really cautious, and they've all been very careful, and they've really wanted to play the heist in that stealthy sort of way,
right,
so that they are picking at the edges of the location, and they are making skill checks, and they are checking with various NPCs, and they are sort of using logic about ways that would help them break into these places. And the majority of the sessions, usually these heists have been 1 or 2 sessions, usually trending toward 2, where the whole first part of the session is them planning on what they want to do, and then the whole second part of the session is them actually trying to enact that plan.
What do you enjoy about the heist genre in general?
I think it's the tension. I think it's that non-standard sort of play style that has groups, like I was saying, being really cautious and being really afraid of triggering the traps or triggering the security alarms. We have a couple adventures where there are literally security alarms like on various places throughout the location. So I think that it is, that sort of down to the wire, players being really worried about triggering things like that, that will be the most fun for DMs, because it will be much different than that very standard, like, I kick down the door and I fight whatever's on the other side, and then I just continue to go through the dungeon. There's more critical thinking and more sort of sideways thinking that I think would be really fun. And I've always really enjoyed the ideas that the characters had come up with, and specifically seeded some really pretty crazy stuff in some of these adventures to be like, I hope the players have this idea, because
yeah,
it's hilarious. All I'm gonna say is animatronic Allosaurus in the Museum of Natural History.
Nice.